Listen, I have a lot to say, okay? If you don't even watch to the end of the video, please listen to the next 5 minutes. I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you of what I'm trying to say. This is something you have to experience firsthand. So no matter what your background is, no matter if it's very religious, um, very academic, it doesn't matter. This is something that you have to experience firsthand perspective. This is something that you can experiment with to be able to see, right? You are a creator. All right. Now hold on. Don't click off. Just hear me out, please. Because it will change the entire world. You create your reality. Your version of reality is created through and by your intentions. It's not just the things that you think, it's the emotions that you feel, it's the things that you dwell on, it's your thoughts in everyday life. It's creating your own version of reality. Like, that is a cold, hard, very deep truth that I've come to understand. And if people would just come to understand this, it would change your life completely, like completely and utterly. And what frustrates me about this is that you have books like The Secret, and they'll write, do such and such, and you'll manifest $1,000,000. And it's not to say that you can't manifest $1,000,000. We can manifest pretty much anything. But they say that you do X, Y, and Z and you manifest this, or you're able to manifest. And that's a partial truth, but it doesn't go fully into it. The truth is that you are always manifesting 24/7. So you don't have to do X, Y, and Z to manifest, because you're already doing that. You have been doing that for all time. And that'll never end, because that is who you are. The thing to understand is you create the good and you also create the bad. About 8 years ago, I had been learning this stuff. Let's say back up 18, 19 years ago is when I first started searching for the truth. But I would say about 8 years ago is when I really started to apply this into my life. I was at a really dark, heavy time in my life. It was pretty bad, right? Like really bad. And I was like, what else do I have to lose? Like, I've learned all these things. Why would I not try to fully apply it and just see what happens? Let's experiment. Let's see what happens. And it changed my life completely. So what I did is I started going through life, and no matter what it was, if a fear came up in my mind, I was like, no, I'm not going to fear it. I don't care what it is. Like, I'm not going to have fear of that. And I'm going to have unconditional love for myself and for everyone else. That was my motto. Like, that's the only thing that I focused on. Anytime something happened, a fear started to creep in, I'm like, nope, I'm not going to have fear. I'm getting that out of the way. I'm just going to have unconditional love. And I swear to you, little by little, my life changed completely. Like, completely. Like, I had so much peace. It was actually around this time is when I started this channel. And I realized that uploading videos gives me a lot of joy. That's not to say along the way in the past 8 years that I haven't hit some bumpy roads, because I have. And sadly, one of the things that I've come to understand about us is sometimes our biggest growth is through those bumps. But you don't have to go through that in order to grow. Just understand that you create your reality by your intentions. And what I mean by that is, in your idle thoughts, those times when you're daydreaming, I'll give you an example, right? Say something's coming up into your life and you have a lot of fear about this certain thing. And when I say fear, I don't mean it's something that you're physically afraid of and you're running away. I just mean like, maybe it's a bill that you have no idea how you're going to pay it, right? And you're just constantly worrying about this, and you're giving it so much energy, you're giving it so much time, but you do this so nonchalantly, like it comes so natural that every time that you're sitting down and nothing's going on and you're daydreaming, you're worrying about this thing, and you're giving it so much energy. That's why those things come to fruition so much easier. That's why we manifest our fears so much easier, because we put so much energy and time behind that from our own worrying constantly, right? So you have to stop doing that. Every time that a fear wants to come up, you're like, no, I'm not going to have that fear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on what I would like it to be. Like, that is where your intentions and your focus needs to be completely. And it does help a lot if you learn how to meditate. And I'll give you a quick example. Some people say I don't have time to meditate, or I don't know how to meditate. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of how everybody meditates every single day. All right. Have you ever been in your vehicle and you're driving from point A to point B, and you've taken this road quite a few times, right? And you get from point A to point B, and you're at your destination, and you're like, I don't even remember how I got here. Like, I don't remember the drive at all. It's so weird. And I've had that happen quite a few times. And I'm not trying to say that it's dangerous or anything like that. It's just a route that you've taken so many times that your muscle memories have taken over, and you're just driving. You're not being unsafe. It's just a natural thing. You've done this a bunch of times, and you're just going through the motions, and you're just driving. But as you're going from point A to point B, and you're lost in thought, and you're pretty much completely shut off to the outside world, you are meditating. You are not processing outside information. Your muscle memory, your subconscious, has pretty much taken over, and it's taken the wheel pretty much. And you are just lost in thought, right? That is meditating. To meditate means to not think, right? That's it. And it doesn't mean that you physically stop thinking. It doesn't mean that you're physically, your mind is shut off. No, it means that the outside world is cut off to you, right? So that's why mantras are so handy to do. Like when you're trying to meditate, you repeat this certain thing over and over, or you're making this certain sound over and over. It gets so repetitious that you're not thinking about anything else. You're in the moment, and you're cut off from the outside, right? That is meditating. So when you're in those states, when you're in that meditative state, like when you're daydreaming or when you're driving, like that could have been one of those times that you're just so fearful of this certain thing that's going to happen. You're giving it so much energy, right? Stop doing that. Instead, focus on what you want to have. I try to give it a good example. Say you have this bill coming up, and you're worried about it, and you don't have the money, right? Instead of just giving so much energy and fear over worrying about it, just stop that completely, right? Just see yourself. Maybe you see a friend, or maybe you even see me, right? You leave a comment, and you say, wow, I can't believe this actually worked. And this bill is completely taken care of. It could be anything that you can think of, right? You're the only one who limits yourself. Like, your imagination is the only thing that can limit you in this. So what you would do is, let's just use a friend as an example. It's one of the things I used to do when I was meditating. I would say, like, this certain person, man, I can't believe that this worked out perfectly and this money came out of nowhere. Like, I just can't believe it, right? And you just do that over and over. And it's not like you're just thinking about it. Like, you're putting yourself completely in that situation with all five senses as much as you can, right? So as you're sitting there, laying there, or however you're doing it, you don't even really have to have your eyes closed to meditate. And I'm not just talking about meditating per se. I mean, like, throughout your entire day, as you say a fear comes up, change that and do this, right? Focus on the outcome that you desire, right? Let the fears go completely, like almost to the point of being naive. Let it go. Okay. Let it go completely and focus on what you want. Focus on the desired outcome, right? So as you're doing this and you're imagining talking to your friend, and you're saying, man, I can't believe how this turned out so great. Everything worked out perfectly. The bill is paid. I don't know what I was worried about to begin with. Like, everything is great. And just when you're doing that, immerse yourself as deeply as you can, involving all five senses. That is one of the most important things I learned from one of my mentors. It's Neville Goddard. I've learned a lot from that guy. He's pretty old school. He's been away from us for quite a while now. I think he died in the 70s, I believe. But he had so much wisdom, right? So what he was saying is immerse yourself as much as you can. Like, say you're envisioning your friend and you're having this conversation. Try to imagine what it would smell like, what it would even taste like. Maybe you're having a meal with this person. What sounds do you hear? Make it as real as you possibly can in your imagination, and just continue to do that. And also let it go. Like when you do this, like you are a creator. It's not if you're a creator, you are a creator, right? So it's not like what I'm trying to tell you is what I was saying before, like you'll be able to create because it's what I'm telling you. No, you've already been doing this. You are a master at creating. You've been doing it for all time. What I'm trying to do is trying to help you understand the things that you are manifesting and creating in your own life and how you can change that and how you can start creating a reality that's more pleasant, more peaceful for yourself and for your family, your friends, and your kids, and everyone. It's so important to me. Like, if you really think about it, if everybody understood this and really accepted it and lived this life, man, the world would be at peace, but a natural peace. It wouldn't be from something that's being pushed on us or been through propaganda or any other crazy thing. It would be very natural from the heart of people. And we would be literally heaven on earth. So at one point, like I have a burning desire to tell everyone, but at the same time, it makes me really sad because I know that in many ways it's very simple, but it's also extremely difficult because we really want to focus on negative things. Like we for the most part, we think, at least the way that we were raised, like you have to give attention to this negative aspect. If you don't give this negative thing attention, you're going to have some things taken away from you, right? But that's not the truth at all. The truth is you're a creator. You manifest your reality through your intentions, and you need to stop and you need to start thinking about the outcome that you desire and putting all your energy behind that, no matter what it is. Like literally, it doesn't matter what it is. Focus on the positive things. And I will say this too, something that I've really come to understand is our manifestation is not based on merit. Like it's not that you're going to do so many good things and then you'll get this. It's only based on that if that's what your belief system is, right? If your belief system is that you have to do so many good things in order to have this, that's what it's going to be for you. But it doesn't have to be that way. You ever wonder why good things happen to bad people? Because they have no conscience. They have a lot of confidence and they don't really care, right? So they focus their intentions on what they want and they continue to strive and do better because that's what they want. And that's why those things happen. And I'm not telling you to go out and start doing bad things. I'm just trying to tell you is if you go, or as you're going through life and say you make a mistake, man, let it go. Forgive yourself of it. You can say that thing that I did was dumb, but don't say that you're dumb, right? Let it go completely. I'm talking unconditional. What does unconditional mean? Unconditional means love has no conditions. And so if you're doing that for yourself, if you mess up, forgive yourself unconditionally. Let it go, right? Because it's so counterproductive to everything in this world. If we all just let go of that junk that we carry along with us, man, it would be so much better. Because I tell you why. So say you screw up and you do something that you consider bad, right? And you're focusing your attention is like, oh my God, I can't believe I messed up again. But man, I'm telling you, if you keep giving your attentions and your energy all to this and you're still thinking about that constantly, you're going to do more of it, right? You're going to do more of the thing that you're trying to let go. You have to let it go. Forgive yourself unconditionally. Let it go. That way, as you move forward into the future, um, you'll have less of that occurring. Like it's in literally every aspect of our life. And if we just really understood this, like really deeply understood it deep into your soul, right? It would change you and it would change this world. First, I'm not telling you to do this selfishly, but first, you need to love yourself. Love yourself unconditionally. Forgive yourself unconditionally. And as you move forward through life, you make a mistake, let it go instantly. No matter what it is, let it go. Forgive yourself and start focusing on the desires of your heart, whatever that is. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be financially wealthy. Nothing. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be healthy. There's nothing wrong with trying to prosper. Nothing. There's nothing wrong with all that. Like it's good to be able to do those things. How in the world do you think you're going to be able to help people like financially? Like you see people who are not very well off. They're poor, and your heart goes out to them. You're like, man, I wish I could help them. How in the world are you going to help them if you don't have the finances to be able to help them? I'm not saying that would be for the only reason. Even if you weren't in a situation where you could help people who are poor, it's still okay. It's still okay to prosper in life. Like it, 100% is okay. Man, I love all of y'all. I literally love the entire world. I don't care what side you come from. Like I don't care because when I look out, I realize that is a mirror image of myself, and I realize that everything is God. Literally, everything that we see, hear, and experience is God. That's the only way that I can look at it. And I came to this conclusion one day when I started thinking. I used to go back, like I mean, talking like thinking back, like, okay, here's the Earth. What happened before the Earth? Well, we had a solar system. What about before our solar system? You go to the galaxy, right? And you keep going back and back and back, all the way back to the singularity. And you get to the singularity and you realize the universe hasn't expanded. It's still in this infinite mass and energy in this very small singularity. And then if you really come to understand this, you would say like every thought, every action, every act of love, every act of evil, kindness, every invention, every genius thought, every dumb thought, everything, the sun, the moon, the earth, all the particles in the universe, everything is before the Big Bang is literally right there in that singularity. There's literally one entity, right? Everything in one place. It's all the same. If we were able to observe that singularity at that moment before the Big Bang, we will say, hey, look, there's a singularity. But after the Big Bang occurred, I mean, then you have all these separate things in such a humongous universe, right? There's so many things that are so far spread apart, and we make the distinction. Well, this is this planet, this is this this is this galaxy, and this solar system, and this is this person, this is this animal. You know what I mean? Like that's how we interpret this world. But if you go to the very beginning, it was all one, literally all one infinite mass and energy in the singularity. So one of the things that I come to understand through that is that this universe is literally one entity, right? One entity with many different perspectives. And you're one of those perspectives of the all. And that's the way that I look at it in a material way. I know that there are other perspectives that you can look at it from a non-physical perspective. But for me, that's just the way that I see things. I'm going to end with this, man. I love y'all. Thank you for watching this. And please understand who you are. And if you, I don't, I say, I don't want you to believe me. Like, I literally don't want you to believe me. What I want you to do is to take the things that I've said and just apply it to your life and just experiment. No matter where you're from, no matter what your life background is, it doesn't matter. And I know that I'm not the most eloquent speaker. I know that I'm not the most intelligent person. I'm not a lot of things. I'm just me. But I do know what I'm talking about. And all I'm asking is that you apply these things to your life so it can enrich and make your life better. It's like knowing a deep secret and you trying to tell people. And like people think that it's interesting or whatever, but they never apply it to their life and they don't understand it from a perspective of knowing who they really are. So man, please try this. Please. If you like everything I had to say, please like and subscribe. Man, I love all of y'all. Please share this. I really want to continue to get the word out. And I know there's a lot of people out there saying very similar things. But this is just my perspective. And I hope that I'm able to reach people. All right. I love all of you. Thank you.
Fabulous song, hold on, I got letter, yeah, home, Max, see the artist, Sony, hold on, big up,